Hey everybody, this is Grant Coombs III, aka Balbomb, coming to you for another video from CardRunners.com. This is going to be another section of my yellow tag series in which I take one concept or a number of different hands that I wanted to talk in depthly about and really expand the topic, going from some of the more beginner type ideas and then hopefully expanding them to the intermediary and the really advanced level of poker. In this video, we're going to be tackling 3-bet pots and how to play creatively in them. I talk about this a lot and how the element of creativity is one of the key ingredients in really a lot of the big winning players, particularly ones at higher levels. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll get a lot of new ideas how to combat really difficult opponents in 3-bet pots, and also how maybe to stump your opponents into making some pretty big mistakes that they might otherwise not be doing. The first hand that I'm going to show you guys is what I think is it's one of the really good examples of why I think I'm probably a pretty big winning player and why I've been able to do it for a long period of time. And also really how I look at the games in general. It deals a lot more with not just the math side of poker, but the human element of poker. So it folds around to the big blind. I make my standard minimum open on the button, which I've been doing for probably over a year and a half, even 2 years now. And I get 3-bet by a player that I have a ton of history with. And if we take a look at my stats here, that he's 3-betting 15% in the big blind, which is extremely big. And I'm more than happy to call this against just about any 3-better, really, unless maybe he's something extremely tight, like 2 or 3%. And actually, given that size, I think I'd just be getting nice outs to draw against a big hand. But more than happy to call in position against this player. I feel very comfortable playing against him. I flop a flush draw on King, King 3. Unfortunately, this definitely dominates my range here more than the 3-bet caller's range is going to be dominated by the 3-better. Because really I can only have here maybe all of the King Queens and then King Jack suiteds and then flush draws and then I guess pocket threes, and that's about it. Whereas the 3-better can have, with 15% of hands, can have just about any King X suiteds in his range, which therefore dominates my range. Thankfully, I have a hand that I can fight back against him with. And I'm just going to be calling because, like we said, I'm going to have a really tough time combating his range. And additionally, I absolutely don't want to give up equity here and face a shove and maybe call off against a better draw, or even just be flipping against a hand like Ace-Queen would be pretty much a disaster for me too. So I just call in position. The turn is a 10 here, and he goes ahead and bets almost complete pot here. My first instinct was just about to fold almost right off the bat there. But when I thought about it, I figured at least let me check my notes. And what I saw in my notes was really critical. If I can let you look at the third line that I have here. And in the third line, it says I 3-bet Ace King. He bet the flop, and then he bet close to pot on the turn, and then just gave up with a misdraw on the river. That's a really critical note. And it's something that I probably take more stock in than just about any player, is I really trust my notes. And when I see something like this, particularly a weird line that probably goes against most of, at least a standard regulars play, which he's definitely a regular and probably a pretty winning player as well. But when I see something that goes against the grain, it always leads me to at least take a look at my notes to see if I can see anything. And with that note, I see that 2 different times he bet the flop in a 3-bet pot, and then on the turn he bet close to pot and then gave up. Knowing that gives me a really huge edge here, and I opt to just call. Now, if I saw that note and I had something like, I'm trying to think what I would just outright fold with that note, because the problem is, even if he bets like that, it doesn't mean that he has nothing. It just means that he probably has a lot of draws in his range as well. Those draws can lead from anything to backdoor heart draws that now have a draw on the turn, to something like Ace-Jack, Ace-Queen, Queen-Jack, Jack-9, something like that. All of those are possibilities. So I probably wouldn't be calling here with a hand like pocket sevens, but if I turn Queen-Jack here with a float, or even if I turn something like Ace-Jack, I think I'd probably call the turn as well, believing that if he hits, he's going to be shoving the river, and if not, I will completely win the hand. And I also have a few outs here to win the hand with the best showdown as well. So my first inclination was just to completely fold. I took a look at my notes and then opted to just call here. The river's a jack, and he checked rather quickly, and I just opted to shove here and he folded rather quickly, believing that he probably had something like either backdoor heart draw or maybe ace jack or jack nine. But I think backdoor heart draw probably makes the most sense based on how quickly he folded.